Jesus.
Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and today we are discussing another Brat Pack movie from the 80s again, of course. A John Hughes movie this time. A movie about a Saturday detention in high school. Of course, we are talking The Breakfast Club. Um, Without further ado, let's go opening thoughts. Craig, The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. This is a beautiful piece of minimalist film. Okay. Um, this is. I don't know if you can see this. I drew this.
Yeah, I can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. On canvas for my 80s exhibition a while back. Um,
Really great.
this this does cool really well. All right. It has it's wrong in so many ways. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was counting, but it's really, really well written. Basically, the kids, it's a coming of age movie. They're locked together. It's Dawson's Creek in a film, in one room, couple of corridors, and maybe a toilet scene, and that's it. And then, but you get to the character development is brilliant, and you realize that in this film they're all the same people. They've all gone through the same experiences, even though they think they're better and different and cooler than each other. But really, they've gone through the same shit in their life. They've all come from broken homes or whatever's going on, and then they come together and they talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know, and and a brilliant soundtrack as well. I mean, that song's brilliant, especially if you ever heard the remix of it as well. It's just brilliant. I'd love them to do like a reunion like Friends did and see what the hell they're doing now. That would be that should be a Netflix original, guys, if anyone's watching.
They would be all in their 60s now, though.
Yeah, but it still would be a laugh, you know, see what's been going on. Get some younger actors in,
Are you
whatever.
talking about like Train Spotting 2, like Breakfast Club 2?
They may be on heroin by then, maybe, if they got through uh, St. Elmo's fire. Let's not talk about that one. That's my opening thoughts, guys. It's like minimalistic cinema, and I don't even think they knew how good it was back then, and I think that's why it works. They didn't see it coming.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I think St. Elmo's was probably just to jump on the bandwagon shit. That was so good, we better do something just like that, but it didn't work. That's why sequels sometimes do not work.
Well, St. Elmo's really wasn't a sequel.
And can someone please clear this up? Is that boy who was the wrestler the president in Independence Day?
No.
Or is that him?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
They look alike, but it's not true. But
That boy is Emilio Estevez,
Right.
Charlie Sheen's brother, Martin Sheen's son.
right. And then of course the ironic part is that it's Irish Spanish family. They have over 8 kids, and one of the people in Heather's is related to the Estevezes as well. So
Yeah.
There are so many Estevezes. And Sheens, don't forget that. And Sheens. Right. So you have Irish Spanish, which people forget. But then again, anybody can be, any way that they're born or any way that they make themselves look in the movie. So I was reading some of the tropes in here, and I want to know if you guys hit it as well. Okay.
Over to Susan and Alex then.
All right. Didn't mean to interrupt, Craig. Did you have anything more?
No, it's cool. It's cool. I know me and Alex were talking earlier. There was no. This was a very white movie. Again.
Yeah.
But it was only a small cast anyway.
Yep.
I mean,
But I was missing someone to shout out. Damn, I didn't get it. But I did get little breakouts of people dancing on their own, which is brilliant. I always look for that in an 80s movie, and it ticked every box for me. Over to you guys.
Okay, Alex.
Okay, well, it takes part in the same universe as John Hughes. The only other thing I found creepy is that he considered Molly Ringwald his muse, which is strange because Molly Ringwald is now 53 or 54, and John Hughes died. What was it, in 2009? Plus, he also helped the Home Alone franchise, which is also weird. Because, yeah, probably a little kid or a kid wouldn't be able to booby trap the entire house. Why he doesn't kill any of the thieves in any of those movies is amazing. But in any case, I actually do like the movie, but yeah, unfortunately, John Hughes and Joel Schumacher are extremely Caucasian and extremely suburban. And I think that doesn't help the movies, whether you're talking now or in the past. So I did enjoy the movies in the sense of style, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily age well. And I know a lot of people that actually dislike The Breakfast Club. I like it, but a lot of people say, yeah, it's too stereotypical, too many white characters. It's not varied enough, which I think too.
Okay then.
John Hughes, I think I love John Hughes and I love John Candy because John Candy was just like my Uncle Les.
Okay. But there wasn't a huge cast. There was 7 people in this cast. So
What I'm going to say is, in the cast of the characters, would a coloured character have fitted into these characterizations of these characters?
sure.
Yeah.
So there. It's
Yeah.
just they chose.
Right. No, but I'm saying overall. Go ahead.
Yeah, Susan.
I think he would have.
Okay.
I think he would have. He would have been really cool. And do you know what? He would have been like, I reckon he probably would have had like the leather jacket and the chains and all that. Like I've seen it in Friday the 13th Part 7 when it was almost like Michael Jackson lookalike. It would have been someone like that, or someone from Fame, you know, and he gets out the coat and he puts about 7 knives on the table and that, and it was probably so stereotypically wrong.
Yeah,
But
so you're saying if it was a coloured character as in the Judd Nelson role,
or in the jock role, or in the nerdy role, whatever. They've been
stereotypical, as Craig said.
It doesn't need to be white or black. It's just or any person of color. It just what's really cool about this movie is that is those conversations that they have, and the boundaries that they set for each other, that they slowly approach, and then through trust they're able to break. It isn't a bunch of people doing things to each other that they're not actually allowing, because through conversation and through interaction, these 5 actually get close, as do the janitor and the detention teacher. Those 2 end up having conversations and having a beer together. It's just what that's
okay. But I was.
It becomes they do these. This is more of a trust story. It's about how do you trust each other as teenagers, as you're so different. I mean, I was the total geek and I belong in this group. I am a geek.
Don't place yourself in the movie.
And anyway, I just think that it's
so no. But as I said,
a princess, a jock.
Yeah, I was criticizing the filmmakers, not the film.
No, I know. I'm just
so. And there is a Spanish person there. One of them is an Estevez. But the issue is
right. Okay.
The issue is, as other people have written, if they're all bad kids or if they're all wild kids, they would be happy to be in detention anyway because they're breaking the rules.
Do you know?
Oh, you don't ever want to end up in detention.
Anyway, go
The
ahead.
only maybe negative thing would probably be the gothic girl suddenly at the end put makeup on and did her hair and became really feminine again, and that was accepted. It's like, oh, you're feminine now, and then like maybe she should have just, I don't know, stayed the
Well, yeah.
same or had, I don't know. It's
Well,
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
mean, this is the other question because somehow my mind goes back to Greece, how they have so many tropes in that movie, even though it's a musical. But let me finish it. But what I'm saying is, why does Sandy have to be in that movie? Why does Sandy have to be in Eleven? Why can't the people be who they are? Why is there a transformation at all? I liked Ali Sheedy as she was. All they needed to do, was like lose, just change your jacket or whatever.
And why does she
Not to
remind
be
me so
complete
much?
makeover.
She reminds me of one of the people from Farscape. I don't know if I've got this wrong. Again, I do this a lot. She was in Farscape and she was very pale and she was like an alien hooker sort of thing.
No, she wasn't Chiana.
Okay.
Was Tiana Claudia Black?
No, Chiana was the sort of pale blue one with the sort of wig.
Oh, all right.
But played by Gigi.
And there was a bit, there was one bit that sort of made me feel sorry. I interrupted Susan, and
No.
when she's very very sexually saying she's an nymphomaniac and she's had I did laugh out loud when she said she had a therapist, and then they say, what did you do to him? And then she said, he nailed me. That made me laugh out loud, but it was a bit of extreme sort of thing, like, and I thought, and then she's just doing it and she just made it up basically. Well, I was quite relieved. I was like, oh, thank God. But it was a bit borderline like OTT, but yeah, at least I got a reaction, so
Yeah. Back to you, Susan, if you're still.
I like the also I like the dance scenes as well. I think that was really fun.
Yeah.
I liked it when Emilio's character went in the room and hotboxed that whole room. I mean, that's a lot of pot smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, like that must have been a big fat bag of reefer anyway. And I love that they all smoked it and that they were all like,
yeah,
it became sort of a, a coming together point. It's like the two in the basement having a beer. You got to find something to pull the animosity out of the room and build trust. And so I guess they used reefer, but you could have used
Okay, well, but here's the other
anything.
Here's the other issue, is that again, I do like the movie. Don't get me wrong, but also, why would you have that much pot and no alarms go off and nothing like that? And then the jock starts dancing like it's super disco or super angry mosh pit.
yeah. It's like he's smoking. It's like he's smoking speed, not cannabis.
Right. And then he screams, and the window breaks.
I like that. That was good. That's Hollywood, right?
Yeah. So
That was
and not only that, but did you pause the movie and you saw the Confederate flag there as well? No,
I did notice that.
So it's got like
that
this
was
weird.
that was gross.
These weird John Hughes tropes.
And then apparently John Hughes was a raging Republican,
right?
A raging Confederate, obviously. What a jerk!
Well,
anyway.
Not only that, but Molly Ringwald is his muse, which she's 53 now. So think about, what is that, 30 years ago or 35 years ago? So that was the other question, is that I understand it's a movie and we can't think too intellectually about it, but again, I've known a lot of people that said John Hughes doesn't deserve the fame he's been given. His movies don't age well. it's too many stereotypes. But that's the other problem. It's a movie, not a TV series or whatever. If it had been a TV series, I think it actually would have been better. But that's the other issue is that you know I like the movie. I always will sit and watch it if I want to, but and if I see it. But at the same point, I kind of go, so I would have written some of the scenes a little different or a little better. But I mean, I guess what was it? Bender doesn't have a name. Everybody calls him Bender. He's
it's John Bender.
Yeah, he's an abusive
Futurama
childhood. Yeah, they might have stolen the character from that a little bit. He's in an abusive household.
I just realized.
Go ahead.
I also found the origins of Bart Simpson's "Eat My Shorts Man."
Yep. Well, good insults can always be supplanted and taken and turned.
I used to have a packed lunchbox for school with Bart doing a Mooney saying "Eat my shorts, man."
Yeah.
I don't know how I got on that one.
So, and the other thing too is that this was also part of the universe and part of the movie that they started changing. Like what, a year later, 2 years later, like Anthony Michael Hall was supposed to be super nerd or super geek. And then he admits in the movie that he took shop class, but because he didn't get perfect A's, I guess he might have a breakdown at some point or whatever. And then the whole thing about, and the other thing about, oh, are you a virgin or not? And blah, 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 blah. So
what's cool about this cast is that he chose these actors who would continue to act and really do amazing things. They didn't become like they were just, all of them are amazing actors.
Yeah, I agree with that. I disagree though with this movie. I can't remember who said it hasn't aged well, but I think it has. Some movies you watch and you think, oh, like a previous movie we were just talking about, but this one has aged well because it's a small cast, it's in one particular place, so and the characterization is, they've got nothing in common. Well, to begin with the movie, none of them know each other. They've got nothing in common, but then they soon find out they've sort of got something in common. And as I say, it's a friendship movie, isn't it? They gain each other's trust by the end of the movie, and it also as well. I think it's the teacher as well, learning from the caretaker, because the teacher has given up hope on these kids. He's been doing this job for since 20 years or so before this, and the kids just come there and test him all the time, and he wanted to just educate these kids, and he's lost faith in his job, and it took the caretaker to show him, or prove to him that it's not the case. Just down in the basement drinking a beer.
Yeah, no, I did like the janitor. I mean, that's I've watched this movie a lot, and the janitor is the only character I actually like.
And at least they didn't make the janitor coloured.
Yeah.
Because what do they always use? A janitor will make him the coloured guy. At least this was a sort of a white guy, and he was quite intellectual, to be honest.
Yeah, he read all the books.
Yeah, for a janitor, but
my janitors look like in The Nightmare Before Christmas, the guys that are playing the saxophones in the street corner, like that. They were about 80 or 90 years old.
No,
I mean, you've got three actors in this: Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy and Emilio Estevez, who went on to do the next movie, St. Elmo's Fire. But you've got Anthony Michael Hall in this as Kevin.
Brian.
Kevin. Brian. Who's Kevin? Oh, yeah.
Home Alone.
So he's St. Elmo's Fire.
Is it? No, I'm getting too mixed up now. Anthony Michael, and you've also got Molly Ringwald, who was at a height of success in the mid '80s. She, any movie, she was in it.
Yep.
All of them acting their socks off. I agree. Some of it's a bit far fetched, as I say, with the smoking of the dope, the smoke-filled room, the smashing of the windows, the dancing scene. But it's a movie. I love the dancing scenes where they're all dancing together. It's just a fun bit, and the scene.
And it's written so well that they've actually done it on the stage, as like they've adapted it for stage play, and they've got they've done it with a full cast of people of color. They've done it with a full cast of others. It's written well enough to be produced on the stage, which that's a telltale, right?
Okay, but I'm not criticizing that it has to have Black character or African American characters. I'm saying the universe. It's the universe that I'm criticizing, not
the John Hughes
right.
universe.
It's not the movie. Except, as I said, the Muse part in real life, and the fact of the scene where Jed Nelson's under the table. That's a very questionable scene, and I've seen some people edit that out of the movie altogether because it's very questionable what happens there.
But I know for a fact
we did that at my school library.
Yeah, I know for a fact that does happen.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not saying it's unrealistic. I'm saying it's.
But to film up her skirt was a bit.
Yeah, but I was saying what I'm saying is I know for a fact back in my school days, certain young lads used to do things like that under the desk, get a quick glance up the skirt, but to film up the skirt, I understand what you're saying there.
Right. Because she wouldn't hit him so much if it was just looking up. Because what she could have done was just kick him
in the nuts.
With his.
She couldn't do that because she had his head between her knees in a headlock.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. So what I'm saying is, it's just the way that they did it. But then, at the end, when he finally crawls, at the end of the sequence, when he finally crawls underneath him, she's going, hitting his back. Obviously, you would either yell or give a really good shove, like, get away from me. And she got like, naughty boy kind of a little bit.
The panty shot is unnecessary.
Right.
You could have just, without that little bit of scene there, you could still have had him looking. You could still have had her hitting him.
Right.
The panty shot was unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly. And
the panty shot was because Hughes was hung up on her.
Right. And that even she has criticized that in the last 3 or 4 years. Okay. But again, he's dead now. She's 53 now. So
it's mild compared to Ghoulies Go to College.
Right. Well, that's another thing. So
put that on the list.
Yeah. So I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like it, but I try to also criticize stuff that I like too. But go ahead.
You feel for Brian because he he's the brain, isn't he? He's the educator. He's the SWAT.
He's the dog in Family Guy.
He's been picked on. The scene where he's talking to her and he admits that he's there because he brought a gun to school because he's fed of being picked on, which that scene is a bit hard hitting because he sort of crying, but then as soon as that comes out you're laughing because it turns out it was a flare gun. And it went up in the locker.
Set fire to the locker.
back to the locker. So that's what that sort of breaks the ice with all the other characters, and they're all laughing together, which is such a brilliant scene.
Yeah.
And the scene where they're going around the school trying to avoid the teacher.
That was funny.
It was so funny, but for me, the particular scene is where the Judd Nelson's character falls through the ceiling, and the teacher's sat on the loo, and he comes back and he says, no one's going to look me a fool, make me look a fool. He turns around, there's toilet paper hanging out the back of his trousers.
The toilet paper seat cover, yeah. The toilet seat cover, yeah.
And everyone's had a Saturday detention, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Because I remember being in the girls' toilets, and then we all legged it out of there, and then the science teacher must have seen or heard us, and she chased after us, and we literally legged it through all the stairs and the corridors, and I hid in someone else's class, and then had a laughing fit and got thrown out of that class. But I never got caught. I think she went into the wrong classroom, so I got away with that one.
Oh
But we've all been there, being silly kids,
Well, I haven't. I was such a good lad. I never did detention.
Holy.
Lee makes his own detention.
and so we'll let's talk. Don't you forget about me?
Okay.
Simple Minds. What the theme song to this movie? They didn't want to do it because they didn't write the song. They always write their own music, and they was given this song for the movie, and they said, "No, we don't want to do it. It's not our type of thing." But
I'm glad they did.
They gave in, and the only addition to that song that they put in themselves was the la 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 las, and it's one of their biggest hits worldwide.
It makes me emotional when I listen to the music. I always think of my
It's one of the biggest hits, and as I say, when they play it live, you should see the audience. I mean, I've seen them a few times live.
Wow.
Once they start singing this, the audience, he just lets the audience take the song, and they're off, la la la. It's just amazing.
Wow.
But I'm glad as well, Craig, that they did decide to do this. So any other moments that you're keen on or not so keen on?
No,
well, I love the songs that they chose. Like they had Waiting and Didn't I Tell You?
Yeah.
And Fire in the Twilight by Wang Chung.
Oh, Wang Chung, yeah.
Yeah. We Are Not Alone by Carlo DeVito. And Jesse Johnson and Stephanie Spreel did Hot to Hold, and the Colonel Bogey March. Oh, Colonel Bogey March. Oh, we reviewed Bridge on the River Kwai, and for sure, that is the whistliest thing, that you can whistle, right?
Yeah. I can't whistle, so can't whistle.
And Sunshine of Your Love by Cream, and then there's a Dream montage. But yeah, the soundtrack was epic.
The interludes was good when there was something dramatic or like emotional. The music that came in, I thought was brilliant, really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say about the movie before we go to final things?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we mentioned that scene that I thought was inappropriate even back then.
Keith Forsey did the soundtrack all the rest of the incidentals.
I'm
Well,
glad.
I mean, the acting's good. The dialogue's pretty good. I just wonder because it's, and the issue also is if they're supposed to be breaking stereotypes, they still didn't do the movie right in a way. Plus, Anthony Michael Hall character ends up losing kind of at the end of the movie, where everybody else is kind of getting what they want. And then, like you just said, what's her name? The basket case with the huge bag with everything in it. She gets to have a makeover, which is like, and most goth girls I've ever met, that's the last thing in the world they want. They want to stay there.
Yeah.
So, I like it and it is well written, but at the same point, it's kind of like, okay, I understand it's supposed to be a glimpse of life, and I understand that they're mad or they're disappointed in themselves or they hate their parents, but that's the other problem. All of the John Hughes movies, the parents basically really are terrible. Like only 2 movies out of the 10 or 12 that he made, maybe. It's like the parents are absolutely awful. So you know what I mean? They're not redeeming characters. They're not good characters, which I understand is an 80s trope and in a way tropey, but you know what I mean? It should be better than that actually. And then the fact of, you know, I mean, they sort of admit it, but they don't, is the fact of, they're all supposed to be kids and they all seem a little bit older to be kids. And they don't look quite as young, except for Anthony Michael Hall. But again, in the universe, you have Pretty in Pink, which some people say is very realistic, other people say it's not. You have 16 Candles, which also has some questionable sexual material in it as well. So, but the problem is a lot of 80s movies were like that as well. So it's hard to kind of see and then I remember a lot of people criticizing John Hughes and thought that he got too big in Hollywood and too influential. So I don't know. I do like the movie. I do like the actors. I do like the concept of it. But yeah, they should have gone further with it even back then. And just like people have said, why does the Anthony Michael Hall character end up alone and doing everybody's work? That's all supposed to write a paper, not just him. But again,
God, you're just social justice worrying.
No, I'm not. No. But I'm just saying.
For Brian, I'm proud of you. Yay!
No. But I'm saying, in the other movies, he's not such a nice, character. And the funny thing is, like I said, the John Hughes universe. Oh, the minute he puts on sunglasses and smokes some pot, he starts talking a little black. It's not like,
what you've got to realize is the character of Brian is sort of true to life anyway, because the brains of the outfit in most classes did end up doing all the homework for everybody.
Yeah,
it happened in my school. It mostly happened in your school. That can you just do this for me? I ain't got time to do it. And they did do it.
Yep.
But he came out of this. At the end of this, he came out of this with 4 more new friends.
Right.
4 more than he had before.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, I mean, I mentioned this to Susie. I don't know if the movie, and I'm not recommending this, but if the movie was written now, I don't know if it would be even half the same, because so many people have devices and they shut people out already, that I don't know if the teacher or whatever his thing was. I mean, he even when I first watched this movie, I'm like, he's yelling too much. But I think nowadays, if they tried to film that nowadays, I think they would have just shut him out.
Honey, I had a Girl Scout leader who yelled her face off all the time.
I know, but you understand what I'm saying.
That is.
If this was filmed today, it would be 90 minutes of 5 kids in detention staring at the phone screens.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's the other thing.
All right, you two.
Yeah.
But what? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be different now. I think.
There would be no talking between each other, would they?
Yeah, there would definitely be two kids who wouldn't be talking to each other at all, at all. So no, but like I said, the acting is good and the dialogue is actually good. It's just that some of the writing or the editing, and I do like the movie, but like I said, I've shown it to other people and they go, "What's the big deal with this John Hughes guy? I don't get it at all."
Okay.
Well, you either get him or you don't.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody likes to say before we go to final say and score? No. Okay then, Craig, over to you.
I really like the beginning that sets the scene, and the poetry about whether you can be a princess, a jock, and then it shows you the lockers. I think it did zoom in on the word fag at some point in at the beginning. Which it was I was doing a tally. And I'll say this, and these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through, by David Bowie, my hero. I will give this film 10 reefers out of 10.
Oh dear. Yeah, I
I-
was wondering if someone had mentioned the quote by Bowie there. Over to Susan and Alex.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, I like I said, I do like this movie. There is something about this movie that I really like. So I'm going to give it a 7. But yeah, I do like the movie. I do watch the movie, but there are parts that it sort of goes, like we mentioned some of the scenes, the pot, the under the panty shot, the breaking of glass,
the Confederate flag.
the Confederate flag, the the goth girl has to get a makeover. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But the other thing, I know that when I was a teenager, I know that John Hughes said, "Well, I view kids realistically." I'm kind of going, I'm not. I understand what he's saying. If he's saying that his kids are more multidimensional than American kids been filmed in a movie before, he might have a point, but I still don't find it all that realistic. Maybe realistic to what was before, but also I've seen movies from other countries and they not everything has to be one way, one society, one place. So
Have we reviewed Warriors yet?
no, I don't think so. But yeah, that's what I'm mainly criticizing. I do like the movie. I do like a lot of John Hughes movies, but his universe, yeah, it is kind of weird and questionable, man.
Yeah, well, I am really glad we got to watch this again. I enjoyed it. Well written. I love the fact that it's been done on the stage. That it's just that they just lifted the whole script and adapted it for the stage. It means that it was well written. And I do like these characters. I really love these characters. And so I will give this 10 ceiling tiles falling down out of 10.
All right. Yes, it was great to watch this again. It's one of my favorite movies.
Hello, Patty.
She's fast asleep.
Is he alive?
Great soundtrack, great acting in this. So I'm giving it 10 essays out of 10.
Did they even write an essay in the end?
They did. They wrote one page explaining
Yeah.
who they were.
It was a fuck you letter.
Yeah. No, it really wasn't. Because I think the teacher quite liked it. But so that's our review of The Breakfast Club. You guys out there, if you've never seen it, check it out. It's available on DVD, Blu-ray, streaming sites, you name it.
Did they get breakfast?
They had their lunch.
Okay. It should have been called the lunch club. Lunch.
Well, no, because they was there at 7 o'clock, so it was the breakfast club.
Okay.
Do I have to explain all the movie?
Yes.
Okay, then let's start from they all turn up on a Saturday morning, Craig. The detention, they've done something wrong during the week, right? And they turn up at school before 7 o'clock, and they call themselves the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
And then
the non-breakfast.
Yeah,
but there isn't even a cup of coffee.
Where's the coffee? I'll just put this over here. Go over there.
Well, wait a minute. The Coca-Cola has caffeine in it.
I know. Yeah. Full fat Coke as well. I noticed that. I thought, wow. Do they even need weed if they're on full fat Coke?
Yeah, but I don't think Diet Coke was out in 1985.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
but
it was.
It actually had cocaine in it back then.
No, that was the 1930s or whatever.
Explains the dancing.
That was product placement. I mean,
definitely.
You needed a bit of product placement in the 80s.
Never mind the potato chips.
So you had Coca-Cola and you had weed. Product placement. What is that?
And now you can purchase weed at your
Ray-Bans.
At your local store in
yeah. And don't forget to dance around and break glass.
In Illinois.
Yeah.
If I danced around
backflip.
If I danced around like that, the only thing I'd break is wind.
So one of them did parkour at one point when he just jumped up onto the balcony.
Yeah, that was Judd Nelson, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our obscure review of The Breakfast Club. Please, guys out there, leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the movie. We're on Facebook, Twitter, we're Instagram. We're all over the social media because that's what we do. We're there. We're slowly trying to overtake social media.
And it's okay to be a virgin. Okay, it's 2021. Times have moved on.
Darn right.
Right. Are we talking about the movie, Craig, or are we talking personal things here?
I'm definitely not a virgin.
And on that bombshell, if you like to be notified if you're subscribed to us on YouTube, please press the bell notification button. You'll get a ding ding. Susan's ding is still not working. And please, if you want to be on the cast, get in touch. We'll say we're on all the social media, so just leave a message and we'll try and get you on because we discuss movies, TV, audio dramas. We do love our audios, don't we, Susan?
We chat shite.
This week we
on a week basis.
Oh, do we now, Craig? This week we're doing Indiana Jones and the. Hang on, I forgot what it was.
We love it that much. She can't remember the title of it.
Well, I haven't listened to it yet, so just hold your horses. Indiana Jones and
The Well of Life.
The Well of Life. God.
Why didn't you just ask me? I'd have told you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're an endless fountain of knowledge, Lee.
I'm just full of it. So until next time, guys, remember, don't you forget about me.
You're full of it, Lee.
I'll be along, dancing. You know it.
And the fist in the air on the football field.